Whoops.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Happy birthday, Lauren.
Thanks.
This is Ian. My name's Ian. Nice for you to drop by. For those of you who are joining us from the link letter sent to members every week, this was advertised as a get-up extravaganza, as many get-ups as Lauren is old. But today, thank you for swinging by. We won't even swing, we won't even get up. We're gonna play with our strength like it's any usual Saturday.
Yes.
Because that's what Lauren wants on her birthday. So hello in the chat. Thank you very much for being here. And we'll start with
the split.
Let's just get down to the floor, create a little bit of space here. Nice and control. Maybe the legs are out front. Maybe your butt's up buttocks, right? We kind of determine it as bum. Your bum is perhaps elevated on a pillow. Nice and moderate efforts to stretch those legs. Sit tall. Maybe side slide through the rib cage, or just shift your weight between each butt cheek. Do you find that all your weight is on one butt cheek and the other one doesn't touch? Just try to play with that a little bit here. Let's get a little more contained to the upper body now. Place hands lightly on the floor, and then with the rib cage level, slide or shift to a side. In this case, my left. Then pull to center, and then through center, drift the other way. Nice and control. A couple more here with maybe two hands on the ground, maybe one hand on those abs, and nice and control that rib cage slide. Now a little more discreet, but try that same effort at the head neck. Slide an ear, say to the left, center, and just the other way. Nice little slides. Doesn't have to move to be doing good things for your head and neck here, but contain the movement from the chin and above. And then just, you know it, shake it out.
Shake it out.
From the splits, let's just get to a little side lunge here. So on that elbow, and in that 90-90 position, concentrate on pressing that hip forward. We'll get into a hip flexor stretch later. So we're gonna squeeze the butt cheek, extending the hip forward, and then that bottom side pull in. Now place that hand Lauren has across her chest, actually on your belly, and then with your head in a comfortable position for you, it could be looking at the hand on the elbow or hand on the ground. Take your belly breath in. And then exhale, yeah. Just about two more here and concentrate on pushing the top hip forward and a big belly breath to make room. And exhale. I'll do that maybe one more time here. And then on the exhale, just press through the hand and just bend those legs a little bit to get towards that mermaid sits here. And just sitting nice and tall, we'll check in throughout this position, on this position throughout today. Then let's just switch, do the same thing on the other side. We're on the elbow, we're in that lunge, and we're in a lunge in a more classic way. We're gonna push that back hip forward and pull that front leg or the bottom leg in. Now that we've assembled that position, hand on the belly, head could look at the hand on the floor, and a breath in, make room, exhale. Two more just like that. Keep the butt cheek squeezed forward and the breath big. And then the last one here, breath in, and then exhale. And as we press ourselves back through to that sits position, we could square the camera or just say, okay, mermaids. I'm Ariel, because I don't know another mermaid's name.
Me neither.
No.
From here, let's press the floor away and come up into
don't even know her
our all
dad's
fours
name.
position. Yeah.
But she's not a mermaid.
From here, we're going to extend our fingertips towards the floor, callus line, and then palms come down. With those hands spread open nice and wide, pull your shoulders down out of your ears, straighten those elbows, trying to rotate your elbow pits forward, and keep a nice grip on the floor between all 10 fingers. Now pulling the floor towards you, your shoulders will drift over top of those hands and wrists, and then press your fingers to push yourself back. Let's do that a couple more times. Straight elbows, shoulders packed, pull yourself forward, and then press yourself back. And as you're pressing back, making sure that tailbone is tilted to the ceiling. One last time, pull on the floor, elbows stay straight, drifting forward. And then this time we'll press back, extending our hips, shaking the wrists out. Let's do one more wrist there. This time, palms face each other, extended arms, fingertips, callus and palms down. Shoulders pulled down out of your ears, elbows straight. Now pushing one set of fingers into the floor to go the other way. Use that transfer and that shift checking in that the elbows remain straight as you do this. Last one or so, coming back to center, and then gently press through the floor to flick away. Nice. Let's go back to a little hip flexor, but we'll come to that through our kneeling lunge. So bringing one leg up, take a look behind you. Check out your back foot. Is your heel in line with your calf in a nice straight line, or is it winging out to the side? Let's try to get it in that nice straight line. Yucky. Yucky. Oh, almost yucky. Good. There. Oh, no. Anyway, figure out your own foot. From there, let's hike our hip and then pull it down. And do that one more time. Hike a hip and pull it down. And now with those hips horizontal level, we'll tuck under, squeezing that back glute. And then relax and even exaggerate a little bit, tilting your tail to the ceiling. And then one more time, scoop under, squeezing that back cheek. And from there, we'll push down into the floor and slowly start to pull forward. Keep that back hip pushing through and staying stacked here. And hold, and then just stay there, but relax a little bit. Square up, retuck, push down, squeeze. Maybe you can find a little bit more room to drift forward. And then push forward, pressing yourself all the way up tall, but keep extending that back hip. Nice. Relax a little bit. We'll heel toe that open. Doody-doo. Nice. Again, level those hips out horizontally, and then slight tuck under. Pushing down and pulling on the floor this time. Feel that pull first, and then again, slowly start to drift, knee towards over the toe. Staying square forward, hanging out for a second, relax. Retuck and squeeze. Maybe drift a little bit more, and then press away to come back up to center. Let's do a little rotation from here. Chop those hips. Hand finds the floor. From here, let's take our eyes and head and look at the hand on the floor, and then close up those shoulders, squaring up towards the floor. Take a little breath, and then our head will look up to the sky, and our shoulders will follow open. That bottom shoulder remains packed. Maybe a little belly breath, filling belly here. And exhale. And then head looks at the hand. We'll press the floor away, extending the hips. Front foot moves. Bring that underneath. Shake it out. And do the same thing on the other side. Yeah, good.
Don't forget the shake.
Good, don't forget that. So we started in our lunge and we checked out our back foot. We came back to center, good. From there, we hiked our hip and then pulled it down. And a hike and a pull down. And then a tuck under, squeezing the back cheek. And then a tailbone tilt to the ceiling. And one more time, that tucked under position. With everything tucked and squared, we'll push down and slowly start pulling on that floor and drifting forward. On this side, you might not go as far, or you might go further. See how that feels. Take a second, relax. And then tuck under again, push down and pull. And one more drift forward. And then we'll press into the floor, pressing ourselves back up tall, extending that back hip through. From there, heel toe open. Nice. Hips stayed level, tucking under that back cheek, pushing down, and then pulling again on that floor. Feel the muscles as you pull. And then also feel some length on that other side. And then we hung out for a second.
Do those.
Retuck, re-pull, maybe drift a little further, and then press into the floor back to tall. We'll do our rotation here and our hip hinge as our hand finds the floor. And then our head looked at our hands and our shoulder looked at our hand on the floor. Take a breath. Rotate your head towards the ceiling and your shoulders back open. Take a breath there. And then I like to look at my hand as I press the floor away, extend my hips or my foot to the front, and pull underneath.
Pulling underneath.
Great.
So on our menu board next, we've done a little bit of the wrists. Let's get into some gentle hamstrings. For that, I'm gonna grab a chair. So do you have that balance aid near you? It might come in handy as it's a little bit tippy. Yoga blocks could be working just as well. With a little bit more space here, we'll get into that lunge position with 90-90s, and then very slowly, just straighten out that front leg at the knee. Camera angle's a little bit different here today. There we go. All right. So from this position, we'll talk about that hinge. The spine will stay long. We have that anterior tip of the hips or the tailbone back. And from here, reach your sternum towards the foot on the floor. I move 2 millimeters and holy cow, singing on those hamstrings. From there, think with that back cheek and extend the hip through. Repeat 1 or 2 more. Nice and control, it's that hip hinge. Hands on the floor or a chair beside might be helpful.
Wobbly.
It's tough on that narrow base. So we'll hang out here for 10 seconds. And again, to extend the hip in the back to get tall. Might repeat that one last time. We're showing that dorsiflexed ankle. We have our kneecaps pointing to the ceiling. Hinging on the hip. Moderate efforts go a long way here. Breathe. And then squeeze the back butt cheek to extend. Easy does it as you make that switch. You could switch the side of the chair, but just as long as you're feeling stable, let's continue. Lauryn cued the hip hike, so find level, and then scrunch across the floor, straightening out the leg. Then squeeze that back butt cheek, so again, we're nice and square, and then hinging on the hips, nice and control. Already, I don't feel I need to go as far on this side to feel that sensation of that hamstring load. Hold, breathe, and then squeeze that back butt cheek to extend. Repeat, we're nice and square. We have that tailbone tipped to the ceiling. Our foot is in that flex position, foot towards the ankle, shin there. Breathe, breathe, and then that back butt cheek, push it through. And one more. Nice and control. Nice and control. Perhaps get somewhere you haven't quite been before, but then press that hip through. Pull under, and nice and control to the ground. Or
I just need to shake it off my knees.
Go.
That felt good.
Okay.
All right.
So we will be getting back down to the ground here in a second and starting with some very light bear hovers into bear crawls, and we'll transition into elephants as well, I think. So assembling with those hands on the floor, the toes are tucked. Let's press forward and then lift the knees off the ground. From here, can you push the hands forward and your toes back? Avoid the shape in the spine changing. Then pull those hands and knees together, also avoiding the roundingness of the back, but feeling strong and braced. Let's press away from center again. Keep those elbows straight. Weight into the fingertips and pull. Nice and control again. Brace, breathe, reset with the knees on the floor, and press through and shake. As we crawl around now in that alternating left and right sides, let's make sure we press through the floor at the wrists. Avoid lifting the arm from the shoulder, and instead think pressing into the floor to be stable and strong. So in that crawl position, your knees can stay on the floor and drive the action through the hand and then land fingertips, callus line, full palm. Peel a hand off the floor by pressing down and then land fingertips, callus line, hand. I need to back up. We'll look at Lauryn if you need that visual representation and use the hand nice and control. The knees could be on the ground here. You could also be in the hover. But for a couple more steps, oversell me that free throw basketball shot wrist. Nice and control. Then we'll reset, take our breath.
And stand up.
And stand up.
Grabbing your balance aid or a chair at your side, we'll do a nice low hip circle. Get them all warmed up and then get back to our crawls again. Standing tall, we'll gently point a leg out to the front. And then open it up, externally rotating or showing your inseam towards the ceiling. And we'll come back to center, kneecap forward, and then gently internally rotating or hiding that inseam, but keeping the hips level. Rotate it back all the way open, that inseam up. Keep the toe connected to the floor as you draw that half circle to the side. Once you get there, push those hips forwards and stay tall in the inside leg. Again, we'll hide the inseam by turning it down. And then open it up. And then one last time, turn it down. And from that turned in position, continue the circle all the way around the back. Roll over the foot and underneath. Let's continue to the front again one more time. Front. This time we'll open up right away. We'll send the leg to the side. And then we'll turn it in, send it all the way behind us, roll over, grow tall. We'll do one from the back. So reaching long out the back, but keeping that core brace. And then turning the leg open in the socket so that inseam comes around there. Hold that position for just a second. And then continue to the front with the inseam up. And then rotate and pull underneath closed. Nice. Oh, feels good.
I know, we've missed those in yesterday's practice, I think. And it feels really good to integrate them here this morning.
All right, same thing, other side. So tall on that inside leg, pointing to the front. Rotating open, inseam up, kneecap center, and then inseam down. One more time, we're rotating it open, that femur opens up, and then send the leg to the side, staying connected to the floor. From here, we'll turn the inseam down, rotate it forward. One more time, turn it down. And then continue that circle all the way around towards the back. Keep the kneecap straight. Yeah. And roll over the foot underneath. All the way to the front again. Open the inseam up. Send it to the side. Hips go forward. And then turn it down. All the way around to the back. Roll over and tall. Nice. From there, once to the back. So staying braced as you reach long. Open the leg in the socket, staying connected to the floor as you come to that side position. Press the hips forward, open it up even more, all the way around to the front, and then pull closed. And
nice. Let's return to the floor, returning to those zoo exhibits, and we'll do our elephant crawl next. Let's fold to the floor this time, so your head and neck might start in a little bit of extension, then pull the crown tall to bring the chin low. Shoulder blades are retracted or back. And we're pulling that rib cage onto the hips, nice and control. Straight legs if you can. Keep those hips on top of the feet, nice and control, getting down. Reset with your knees on the ground. Get those hands in just that right position and set up in a high plank. Check. Now let's just press one leg back. Running out of room. Get those spatial parameters good here. So nice and control in our 3-point plank. Then we'll pull the hands to the feet, encouraging that wrist extension, and a couple more. That toe flick, keeping the leg straight and level in those hips, and pull. One of my heels here is on the floor. The other is pointed. We're nice and control, shrugging or elevating the shoulders, pulling through one more time. Nice and control. Press. Point. Visualize that handstand upside down. Pull back to plank for a second. Reset with the knees. Get off those wrists for just a second. Whew. In a moment, we'll do our down dog up. It requires, again, that tailbone tip to the ceiling, Lauryn often cues. So hands down, assemble your high plank, and start tipping your tailbone to the ceiling. And it's okay if those knees soften. Then, try to straighten the legs without changing the shape of the spine. Then hold, and then bend those knees. Now at your leisure, nice and control, walk around like that elephant. Visualize that hand overselling, shooting a basketball here. Flick the wrist, nice and control, driving this action through the hand and not the shoulder. Last one or two. And then up how you wish. I'm gonna hinge here. I'll press my hips through. We'll reset to tall. And then again, we get to shake it out. At Lauryn's request, this will continue to be the weekend workout, but the theme is mostly the same, and the name is gonna be
hips and handstands.
Hips and handstands. That sounds fun.
Or handstands and hips.
So as we get into our handstand component here, please take your time. It takes time and patience and all those things to work on the skills for the handstand. So today we were working on our kick-ups, as well as some extra work for the hips. Take your time. This is gonna be Lauryn's favorite entry, being the 3-point. She'll set up with her hands on the ground, loading up shoulders over wrists, shrugging right away, trying to find that nice shape, and down. We could do that against the wall, and I'm trustworthy. I know she's great here. And if I was that wall, don't hit me. Nice and control. So if you're on that side of center.
Oh, you're lucky you did it then.
I know. Don't move the wall though. Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have told you I wasn't there. But again, take your time, avoiding that last moment that Lauryn did, unfortunately, but we'll get back. No problem.
Ian's turn. Ian's favorite kick-ups here are the step-in kick-ups, so taking that single leg, stepping in, flicking the floor away, and trying to reach up to noon on the clock. As you're doing this, as you go in, those shoulders are already elevated. You should be in that hollow position, trying to maintain that throughout. And again, I was alternating my kickoff leg. I'm actually not sure if Ian was or not.
I did 2 on the other.
2.
And this is 2 on my other.
So practice both. It's good. But then get good at one if you really like.
Nice. Moderate reps again there, just nice and easy. We'll return to those balance aids and leg holds. We'll start low as we coin in that ballet practice card, coup de pied positioner at the ankle, and we'll climb the leg accordingly. Lauryn, your long legs are going to shoot right off the screen there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Going back up.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. We're going to stand nice and tall, flex one hip, meaning pull the foot to the ankle. Then slurp in that straw so we're nice and tight to center, and straighten the leg and hold. For 5, 4, and with control, we'll flex the knee, bring the ankle to underneath the hip. If allowed, climb the leg as to flex the hip more. Are they still level though, the hips? If they are, then slowly, keeping the knee at the same height, can we hold and extend for 4, 3, you can hear it's a little bit of work here in my voice, and nice and control in. Might we do that one more time? Lower, medium, or perhaps higher. Squeeze your standing leg butt cheek, and nice and control, extend and hold for 4, 3. It's a lot of work. Let's just take it nice and easy here. Bend the knee, and then press down. And as the foot connects, think pressing that hip through to grow tall. And allow those shakes in between. We'll do the same efforts on the other side now. Low, medium, and then high. Or continue to work at that ankle position. That's
low.
Low for you. So up, press that standing leg through. Just getting that straw. And then nice and slow, shoot laser beams out of your toes. For 3, 2. Slow knee bend with control. Climb the leg as allowed, making sure the hips stay level, standing leg, butt squeeze. And then the knee stays at that same height, and we straighten out and hold for 3, 2. Easy does it as you bring it under. The final one here for this set, climb a little bit higher. Squeeze a little bit harder, and then nice and control. Let's hold for 4, 3, 2, underneath. And then when this foot connects, think pressing those hips forward. And the wiggles. We'll move the chair out of the way, continuing with those kick-ups. Lauryn will do her favorite. And again, we might not have said it before, but this I go, you go style. Do it with Lauryn, watch me. Do it with me, watch Lauryn. Nice and control, working on the kick-ups here.
I looked at the light.
Yeah, staring at the light does kind of throw you off a little bit. As does doing handstands and sunglasses. It's amazing what those environmental factors can do to your practice. Nice. So nice shapes here. So again, if you look at the fingertips, you can't see it at home, but they're white. They're really pressing super hard into the floor down as she tries to get to the top. If you find that pose, hold it, own it, love it.
It's kick-ups. I always get in trouble when I hold it.
I'm trying to soften those rules here for us. Okay.
All right, Team Ian, starting your kick-ups, whether it's trying the tripod, doing the step in, working on your plank, climbing a wall, walking around like an elephant. The list is endless, really. Or you're doing your kick-ups here, pressing the floor away, elevating the shoulders, accepting the floor through the hands, just like we worked it in our crawls, and trying to maintain that hollow position, reaching up to the sky, breathing, and not over kicking. Nice. Good.
There we go. And shaking. Do you want to take this next quivering exercise over, or shall I? Okay.
Standing tall with your balance aid at your side here. We'll work on that outside leg. We're going to go through 4 different positions all in one go, so get ready. Stand tall. Bend the outside leg. Put that $1 million bill back there. Don't let it go this entire drill. Right now, keeping your ribs to your hips. Slowly try to kick back into a little bit of hip extension. As we're doing that though, avoid that low back arch. Stay tight, hold for 3, 2, then bring that knee up through to hip flexion. As you're going to the front and lifting that knee, Keep the ankle close to underneath you and close to the other leg. Keep lifting, keeping the tailbone long. 3, 2, keep it there, but send the knee to the side. As you open that knee side, the hips are pressing forward. 3, 2, bring the knee back to the center. Keep it bent as you brush it underneath you to quads parallel. And then with those quads parallel, let's lift it right out to the side and hold. Horizontal belt line still. 3, 2, pull the leg close underneath. Extend the knee. You can let go of your money and relax. Don't worry, it's yours. It's my birthday present to you.
Nice.
Imagine.
I like that. I like that.
All right, same thing other side. So tall on the inside leg, bend the outside knee, put the money back there. From here, it's our hip extension first. So staying braced and tucked, but gently reaching behind us. 3, 2, pull the knee up and through to hip flexion. Again, ankle stays underneath the bum. Holding that hip flexion, but also keeping the tailbone long to not get slumpy or dumpy in the low back. Open the knee to the side, pressing the hips forward. Stay tall on that inside leg. 3, 2, pull that knee back to center. Keep the knee bent as you brush back to parallel quads, and then lift the leg right out to the side. Keeping the knee bent, keeping the hips level. 3, 2, bring it back to center, extend the knee, and relax. Nice.
Glad I didn't have to talk myself through that one. Yeah. Holy.
Oh, thank you for the birthday wishes, everyone. It's very nice. More kick-ups.
You got it. Yeah. You forgot our crow though, Lauren. You're working on that crow.
Let's finish with a crow.
We can finish with some of that fun. So this will be kind of still have time here. Sorry, we're having a lot of good times here. So we're gonna do another set of kick-ups. We'll follow that up with some other accessory drills here. And again, follow Lauryn for that amazing tripod kick-up. Always working on that line and trying to point those toes and breathing. There, got that performance enhancing dragon breath on cue. So nice and control, ribs to hips, no jokes, man. Or at least no bad jokes. Awesome.
All right, team me in turn.
Here we go.
Kick-ups.
So again, I've been going for 4. 2 of each leg.
Using those legs to press the floor away. Again, those shoulders are already elevated as he's entering into that handstand. Ribs to hips. Take your time getting to that vertical place. Better to kick less than to overkick, I would say, and to learn how much kick up you need in order to get upside down. Take your time, breathe. Have a little fun too. It's a little contagious as well. And dismount with control.
Oh,
nice.
Yes. Okay. One more direction for those hips. Nice and control into that hip extension. We're gonna hold on those $1 million bills.
Do I need to balance it?
With control, we will switch this up here. So his hips are forward. Lauren's cueing that outside leg here, that'll be my right. We'll bend the right knee. Put that $1 million bill in, cramp the standing leg, and then extend the bent leg to the back. That means kicking. Then very slowly, let's point the leg as to straighten the knee, touch the floor, maybe bring those hips forward, and with control, we'll bend on the knee. Might we at this place try to press back 1 more millimeter? Not far. And then from that new place, with control, tracing center, can we straighten out the leg with control? We're gonna do that one more time. So we're slowly bending, firmly grabbing that $1 million bill in the knee. Can we extend 1 more millimeter to the back? Well, I can't, but I'm trying. And then I'll straighten the leg. We'll roll over the foot and bring the straight leg underneath the hips. Whew. And shake. That hip extension and the hamstring curl. If we run, walk, handstand, comes in handy. So the same thing, our legs are parallel, the hips are under. We'll bend a leg of your choice, that outside or alternate leg. Press back. It's a hip extension. Keep the standing leg squeezing as well. Then with control, tracing center, we'll straighten out the leg, to tap the floor or towards your safe place. Then we'll bend the knee with control, firmly gripping that $1 million bill. And then we're going to press back with a bent knee for a second or two. Then with control, we'll straighten out the leg to tap the floor. And one more slow bend. I have that pointed foot, and with that pointed foot here, we'll press back, shooting laser beams out of the toes, sweating from the eyeballs, it feels like, and then we're straightening out the leg, rolling over the foot, and bringing a foot underneath the hips. I think that was maybe the hardest one of the bunch there today, personally. What about you? What about you?
I want to do one more set of kick-ups today.
Okay.
One more set of kick-ups and then finish with a little crow and core.
Nice. Ooh, I like that alliterative ways there, Lauren.
Thank you.
So again, setting up, nice and control, finding that right weight, and doing it in front of that wall and not touching the wall. There we go. There we go, working hard for that one. Beautiful. Nice. So again, in that middle, it looks amazing there, but in that middle, you can see how Lauren is really fighting that ribs to hips. It takes time, practice, and find that right balance in the middle.
All right, you go.
Okay.
Last set of kick-ups here for Team Ian. Take your time, enjoy your time upside down. Pressing the floor, keeping the legs tight together and pointed, finding that hollow position, and also breathing the whole time. Flicking the floor. Maybe your wrists are done, and that's okay too. So if you're done balancing on those wrists for today, take the time off. Don't push it, because you want to do it again.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
We'll shake it out here. Returning to those hips, though, maybe for a quick break off those wrists, we'll just complete those circles again. Let's do one with a straight leg, and then one full circle with our bent leg. The hips are forward, tracing center, point the foot to the front. Then that rotation in the hip, inseams up, as we draw a nice circle to the side. Near that 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock position, we'll slowly turn in on the hip as to turn the inseam to the floor and rounding that circle to the back. Roll over the foot, just like that previous drill, under. Extending the hip, meaning straight leg to the back. Outside leg, the leg we just moved, reach it to the back, toe point included, and then open in that hip, bringing the leg to the side, and from side to front, and from front to under. Now bend the leg, keeping the quads parallel, and then flexing through that hip. Nice and control, standing leg, squeezing. The foot stays under the hip and the knee goes to the side. Then the foot deviates away from the hip, kicking to the back. Finish the circle by pulling those quads together, and then extend to the back, hips forward, bring the foot underneath the hip and the knee side, and then to the front, and then parallel quads, and straighten the knee. Shaking. Same thing, last time on those hips on the other side as well here. Straight leg, front back, bent leg, done. To the front with the toe point, standing leg squeeze. Roll out of the hip, leg side, then roll in on the hip to the leg behind. Rolling over the toes, growing taller all the time, pull under, and then to the back, straight leg, trace center, open in the hip, reach to the side, side to front, and front underneath. Then just keep bending at the knee, quads parallel, point the toe, and then flexing the hip, knee forward, foot underneath the hips. Then reach out to the side, the foot deviates away from the body as we kick and reach behind us, pull the quads together, and then we'll extend for the last time to the back, the knee side returning to the front here, pull, adducting to center, extending the hip, pressing back, straightening the leg, resetting with a little knee bend plie.
Nice. So we said we'd finish with some crow and core. Doesn't that sound like a nice idea?
Nice.
Let's start on the floor. Let's get to the floor. If your wrists are tired of being worked, then hang out in your splits. If we want to crow, let's have our hands nice wide open on the floor. We'll get up on our tiptoes, shoving our elbows or our knees high into our armpits, slowly pressing over, finding that balance, and using the fingertips and the palms to press yourself around. breathing, maybe trying to shift forward, but then know how to shift back. And when you shift back, how to press back forward. And then coming to the floor. Whew. Take a second off and find a seat. From the seated position with our legs extended in front of us, we'll sit up tall, pointed toes, nice straight kneecaps, long tailbone, light grip on the floor. For now, let's just lift this leg straight up in the air. Pull it in its socket and slowly lift and hold for 3, 2, place down. Other side, straighten, lift, hold, 3, 2, and down. Continue. Lift, hold, 3, 2, and soft down. Lift, hold, 3, 2, and down. We're gonna do 2 more. Maybe you take both legs with you this time. Here we go. 3, 2, soft landing. And last time, 3, 2, and down. Whew.
I skipped that last set of crows, and I want to get in on that as well. So either take a little bit longer rest or follow along with me in my crow.
Do I get to do it?
Yeah, fingertips, callus lines, whole hands. Set up in that crouch position on toes, then bring those knees to the elbows or armpits. Find the right position for you. Then transfer your weight to the hands, and I'm lifting 1 foot at a time here and down. Lauryn's in her beautiful full hover, but build time under tension here, and then learn the crow hover and breathe. And then reset to your squat. Shake it out. And we might do that one more time here. We'll go fingertips, callus lines, full hands. Then nice and control to the crow hover to breathe. And as Lauryn said, playing with that weight transfer, driving the action through the hands and the wrists. Finish in the squat. Shake it out and stand if you need. Lauryn saw this the other day. Wow. There you go. Amazing. Look at that. So the inspiration is everywhere. We're inspired by you who are here today, inspired by the amazing person standing beside me, and obviously those other people that we see practicing in the park or online all the time. Shall we get to the floor here and just finish out with a nice little split stretch again?
Yeah, one last split to just finish up.
Excellent. Let's get on down.
Come on down into your light split position. We'll just finish like we started here. So with our pointed feet, light grip on the floor. Let's breathe. And then slowly shift our rib cage side to side. So sliding that rib cage side and side, trying to keep the shoulders parallel with the floor. Do that one last time here. I feel that nice into my ribs. And then to center. Let's try to create a little bit of a circle this time. So pick a side and slide that direction. And then think about chest sending forward around the front of the circle to the other corner and around out the back. Pulling back through to center. And then we'll try the same thing the other way. Other direction slide. Forward, keeping that spine nice and long. Around the back side of the circle. Coming through to center. And relax. Nice.
From here, let's get back to the mermaid. So we'll bend that one front leg and then a modified 90-90 position next. And while we're sitting nice and tall, just check in. Same from before, different week to week, or more balanced and more sharesies on the load. Sneezies and sharesies here. So we'll sit tall for a couple more times, maybe reorganize that. You're distributing that weight equally through both sides. Take a second, and then hands or no hands, let's just switch that to the other side here. A little bit different to get into that one, I always feel, but nice and control again, trying to sit on those hips. Nice and tall, we can use those hands as outriggers. And if your shoulders are all the way out here, I do recommend we use that hand to press the rib cage to stack on top of the hips. Breathe, hang out for a second or two longer, and then nice and easy, exit that any way you can. And then we'll shake it out. As advertised in the weekly link letter, it was to celebrate our movement on a special day, but every day is special. We get to use our body. However, it's not every day that you get to eat cake for breakfast. So no, not that we're doing that, but we'll definitely enjoy the other amazing parts of our birthday.
Ice cream.
Break the seal on that one. Haven't done that one yet this year.
Thanks for joining us this weekend. It was a great time. Thanks for the birthday wishes.
Yep.
And until next time, take care, stay strong, and we'll see you soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.